last 3 weeks, we have been taking an incredible journey of the Kenyan gospel music industry. We looked at where the music is coming from, we looked at the new developments, and also looked at the situation as it is regarding to the musicians themselves and their music. This is a grand show of the gospel trek, but first, let's have the news. Many thanks for joining us. This is our Trek News. My name is Muturi Kiriamiti. After releasing a new song called Tigawana, Willy Paul and Size 8 seems to have more to contend with from Kenyans after the song received a lot of criticism. The matter was made was that they are walking out of a radio station during an interview, a claim which they have refuted. Striking Kenyan nurses have struck a return to work agreement with the government. Agreement which was previously rejected by the Nurses Union Governing Council will see the awarding of 7 billion shillings for their salary allowance increments. The women seeking seats in the next year's general elections are vowed not to be intimidated by their male counterparts. Speaking in Nairobi on Tuesday during the launch of the list of 5,000 women aspirants vying for different political positions, the women saying that they will not be cowed by their male counterparts even as they pursue their political career. Finally, the controversial president of the Athi Society of Kenya, Mr. Harrison Mumias, are saying that all churches should pay taxes of their tithes. Mumias saying that the church's status as non-profit making organizations should be reviewed. That's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us.
Join the Airtel family today and get 5 times the value of every recharge. Recharge with star 555 star pin hash on the Airtel network and feel at home.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Just to have a feel of what the public feels about the Kenyan gospel music industry, we went to the streets and asked them their views. Here are some of them.
I just feel like we are lacking songs that will last a long period of time.
Nowadays, we are losing relevance of Christianity in our music.
There is no difference between the gospel music and the secular ones.
Hizi zetu za Kikenya, yani hakuna ile uwezi feel kama kuna Mungu.
It's like they're losing focus because when you get some songs that really you try to understand the meaning.
The gospel industry has changed in that people are not singing just to worship, but they are singing for the sake of it, to have money. So for me, I'll say right now I don't really listen to our local artists because they're so much into fame, so much into, you know.
I feel that Kenyans are losing it at the end of the day because we are not singing to glorify God, but we are singing for our own benefit and for our own gain.
We are going to take a short commercial break. We'll be back with more. Keep watching.
I hope I get over this thesis defense.
Are you Mukudi wa Mukudi? What was the source of this thesis? Hakuna. Next.
Are you the one who put this thesis together?
What did you use to analyze your data? Nikubaya leo. That professor is there and he has never taken time to look at my thesis.
Wow. Leo ni kubaya. hata msijaribu manzi.
Now surely these professors are so unfair.
I was to finish this 2 years ago.
Mario, the supervisor, is out of the country. He's too busy. Mario, data analysis of fake. And yet these guys don't have time to even guide us.
I'm transferring my credits to Daystar. I hear they monitor your class attendance and that of your lecture. At least professors there have time for you. Twendeni Daystar.
Is this your experience? Well, we invest our all for our postgraduates. Call us, visit us, or write to us for your postgraduate studies.
Mimi naitwa Bogwa na hapa ni Bogwa Enterprise. Tunauza ng'ombe, kuku, nguruwe, kwero, bata, dhamaki, spare part, airtime, motura, jogo karaga. Pale niko na kabushari, dispensary, moshari, library, hardware na ka supermarket. Pale napo niko na kagarashi, kiosk, photocopy na ka cyber cafe. Business is very efficient. Why? We use Fiber Business 15. Communication, streaming, research, download, conferencing, online payment, tracking. Only Fiber Business can do that.
Bogwa. Lori imeisha mafuta.
Weka giri moja.
Hii itanifikisha tu. Sitaweza kurudi.
We dongo, unataka kunimaliza? Kwenda ni kupanda mlima. Ukirudi weka gari free. Teremka na Gravity.
Fiber is now available in Nyali, Embu, Nanoki, and Nyaololo. Mbungwa uses Fiber Business 15 at Mbungwa Enterprise.
Get Fiber Business today with a connection that suits your business needs with speeds of up to 100 megabits per second. Powered by Jamii Telcom.
Every river has a source, and it's the same case with the Kenyan gospel music. The music is strongly founded on the hymns, and in this first segment we'll be looking at how this development began. Gospel music in Kenya was introduced by the missionaries in the 19th century. The hymns were initially in English but were later translated into Kiswahili and eventually into the indigenous languages. Unlike the modern music, which is extremely ornamented, hymns were mainly performed without accompaniments, or at most an organ on drums were used. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 16 says, "Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord." What are hymns?
Metric poetic songs
sung within service.
Over the years, hymns have formed an important bedrock for the Christian music.
The writers of these hymns were people who had searched scriptures.
Hymns affirms what the scripture teaches.
As the Anglican tradition, to make these sections relevant, then there has to be a hymn that goes within these same sections.
Unfortunately for these songs, they are not becoming so popular among the youth.
It all depends with the environment where a person has been brought up and the church which a person attends.
The influence is mostly because of the lot of Pentecostals that surround us.
The songs are like, they don't have the modern contemporary rhythms.
However, all is not lost in that young people can still be encouraged to learn and appreciate the hymns.
Start teaching the children hymns.
We could change the songs from how they are to make them a bit contemporized.
To introduce them to instruments like keyboard, like the violin, and we teach them those tunes for the hymns. They will love it so much.
I can't fix a tune using this indigenous flute, but I went to the streets and talked to different people and asked them to sing one of the hymns in their indigenous languages. This is how they sang.
Joy Karimi, Kigurena Ruth, Jemutai Sarmoi,
Kumita Bananga Beverly Bugutsa.
Narangu naifua zawadi.
Moena kube mu Yesu. Ha.
Twebageria thina. Ni kilo na etiomu. Avoyo asikira. Twechkamugeta galiet. Unazika vibaya. Araimamki yanganari.
Ndiyo nataka kuimba ndio nishinda.
Buktugulen saet. Kongoi.
Sing praise. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was
The advent of the hip-hop music in Kenya brought some changes and influence to it. There was the introduction of rapping, DJing, and a bit of dancing to the music scene. In this other segment, we'll be looking at how hip-hop has either positively or negatively influenced the gospel music in Kenya. Hip-hop genre began in the United States of America in the suburbs of Chicago in the early 1970s. Unlike the other music genres, hip-hop is considered to be a culture by its adherents. This culture is anchored on 5 pillars which include DJing, MCing, breakdancing, graffiti, and knowledge. When hip-hop made its way to the Kenyan musical culture, there were mixed reactions.
First and foremost, it was fought because the only template people had was the US, practically.
Among the earliest groups in Kenya to do Christian hip-hop include Maximum Miracles Melodies and also Gospel Fathers. The new trend quickly spread with new musicians like Giuliani and Ekondida joining the band Wagon. There is also the advent of use of DJing in the Christian music circles. This surge in Christian hip-hop in Kenya has also brought challenges, especially when the boundary has been thin between what is Christian and what is secular. Some dancing styles have also been termed as being too sensual and not glorifying God.
The behavior in it, the dance in it, I don't agree with it.
Despite of the challenges that the hip-hop genre has caused in the music industry in Kenya, it remains indisputable that this genre has also contributed a lot to the development of Christian music in Kenya.
It has allowed for the liberty to see Christ in the lens of social issues as well.
This has helped the gospel artists to be heard and their music to go even far.
Every time a discussion about hip-hop, especially the gospel circles, is mentioned, what comes in our minds are big names like Giuliani, Ekondida, and the rest. But in our show today, we get to look at some of the budding musicians, and one of them is Brian Phil. Let's hear more from the interview.
For real, ninakuheshimu.
Kindly start by introducing yourself to us.
Okay, my name is Brian Phil. My stage name also is Brian Phil.
Tell us why you chose Brian Phil to be a stage name and it's still your real name, whereas your contemporaries just use some funny names.
I chose my name because That's my identity.
Kindly tell us why you chose hip hop to be the genre which you perform.
Hip hop is connecting so much with the youth. Many youth like hip hop, and when you do other songs, you may not reach them. When you do like R&B, other songs, you may not reach the youth.
Briefly, tell us about your musical journey.
Okay, yeah, I started singing when I was very young. I could cram songs. That's how I started, and I realized that I had the talent.
Could you tell us something more about Gani Kali?
It's a song which tries to bring gospel into the limelight among the youth. I am trying to bring that mentality into gospel, where people will be trying to know which is good music between bongo, hip hop, yeah. Misi toki bongo wala siishi Kongo, Gani Kali kati ya bongo na gospel. Okay, what's up, man? You're watching the Gospel Track Show with Kuriamiti Muchuri.
The condition of the messenger is crucial in determining the condition of the message. This has been the case of the Kenyan gospel musicians. There has been a lot of complaints about how they have lived and the type of music they have produced. Now, in this last segment, we'll be looking at the gospel musicians and their music. So much has been said about the Kenyan gospel music, how it is right now and how the situations are like, but what is the verdict? Be the judge. The case before us today is between the Kenyan music ministers and the people. Kenyan gospel musician, you have been brought before the court with the following accusations. Charge number 1. You have been accused of living a questionable lifestyle contrary to the code of conduct prescribed in the Bible.
The behavior in it, the dance in it, I don't agree with it.
As to their character, most of the gospel musicians are being found in a lot of scandals that are not that Christians mostly are not supposed to be found in.
Charge number 2. Your music has been termed as that which falls short of the expected standards, with some of your accusers saying that your music sounds more secular than gospel.
When you look at the kind of songs that we are doing as gospel artists, you just throw in Jesus, throw in God, and then the rest is other things.
I think the Kenyan gospel music these days has been secularized. There's something like that.
So the concern is the kind of things we are saying.
Charge number 3. You are hereby accused of having the wrong motive of joining the music ministry, with some of your accusers saying that fame and money are your motivation.
For them, it's all about fame, money, and friends.
People are not singing just to worship, but they are singing for the sake of it, to have money.
We are not singing to glorify God.
They're coming out to make money, because apparently now the music industry is making a lot of money.
Are you guilty or not guilty? They say every man has a story, and this is the case of Moses Ochieng, who is our guest musician in this segment. Let's hear more from the interview.
Billy Ma, my God, Billy Ma, Anyasai, Billy Ma, I pray, Billy Ma.
My name is Moses Ochieng. I am a musician, I'm a songwriter, I am a worship leader, worship minister in church. I minister at Kenya Assemblies of God.
At what point of your life did you discover that you can sing?
In around standard 3, when I started discovering myself, that's when I realized I could sing. I could hit those drums and then The guys actually even crowned me. I was given a crown with some colors saying the Spirit has chosen this guy. This guy will be singing and the Spirit will be speaking through him.
Tell us more about your first song to record.
Nobody ever heard about it because I may have done it with a cassette and a cassette, you know, those tape recorders and an empty cassette. Actually, it wasn't even empty. I took my dad's tape and placed it inside and I sang. When now I started singing, which I could call professionally, I think I did it at in the year 2002. That's when I had my first music, which of course really didn't go very far.
Looking and listening at your music, how would you define it in terms of genre?
Well, at times I find myself doing a bit of blues and sometimes soft rock. But then I came to realize that I really inclined so much towards reggae.
Your latest song, Bilima, what would you say inspired you?
It's a song that talks about a visitation of God. I'm telling God to visit me because that's the prayer. That's my prayer. Visit me today.
Before we end our program, would you kindly just do the first verse of your latest song, Bilima?
It's gonna be a long day without you. It's gonna be a long trek without you. I admit, alone I am weak. This is why I say, Bilima.
Well, that's all for today. Thank you for your continued support. Remember, you can always watch this program on our YouTube channel, subscribe and leave us a comment. Until another time, it's God bless you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Something, even if it's reading.
God will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way.
Mtu anavulala macho na anataka mfungue.
Ni kama ile mtapia jana, unakumbuka?
Kwa nini anaona kalala?
Ndama.
Kama kambia jiga na kaka. No, gata no gusta gana. Mwisho naga?
Lakini tuna sana news.
Niende book. The women leaders seeking election in the next general the women seeking election in the
Never go 50 at 50. Shika unirekodi na hii yangu.